It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the next character to be included in RE-verse. Just a black man, that's all. Um, aka who put butter on my toast that I didn't ask for? Aka put some cheese on the top. Give you some give you some clam chowder. Um, aka the nigga lip master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switch Your Sights, episode 88 to be exact. It's a for the most part it's a pretty good week this week. Trump is no longer president. Woo 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 woo. What else? What else? I mean, we got Resident Evil Showcase, which man, we gonna have some words in a bit. We gonna have some words. We are gonna have some words. Actually, hold on. We are gonna have some words for sure. Cause man, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, man. Things are at least looking up. Also, by the way, your boy done upgraded. Um, and basically, you know, got the most coveted mic you could find, the SM7B. To greatly deliver this silky voice that you guys love so much, right? It's rhetorical. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's a weird thing about I guess a weird technical thing I want to let you guys in on, since I don't know if it's made me I could be tone deaf, I don't know, but it's been this weird issue I've been running into for the longest. My previous mic, where it seemed like there was a lot of interference, but I think that's just the 3.5 millimeter feed going to my headset and not necessarily what you guys are hearing. At least when I play back it, I don't really catch any like interference or buzz or something like that. So yeah, either way, partially that was at least another reason to try and upgrade. And at some day, some point, sometime in life, I don't know when, but gonna be putting these pipes to use. Not like that. Get your damn mind out of the gutter. Whatever you thinking, don't even think it right now. Okay. All right. Yeah, outside of that, uh just to slightly comment on political issues going on, where news is basically literally blaming Biden now for pretty much all the stuff that Trump did. So that's been interesting. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, how could I forget? Of course, the inauguration, which was great. I catched some bits and pieces, but of course, the biggest takeaway, the biggest, most important takeaway from the inauguration was, of course, Bernie Sanders sitting in that chair, just being that just humble little old man that he is, just trying to stay warm. And boy, oh my God, the internet went to town on this man. Let me tell you. Somebody, just taking it all in on Twitter. Oh my God, they were just going in on him with the memes. Oh man. I could. It's so many I could list, but I'll touch a couple. Like they touched on Yakuza. Bernie is like the head of the Tojo clan. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. The opening scene, the opening of the show where Will is like spinning in a chair. He basically put Bernie in there as in the chair. Oh man, what was another good one? It was the one with Beyonce. When she, I think I'm assuming from her shows, she always brings somebody up and gives them a lap dance. And Beyonce on Bernie's lap. Oh, oh man. Streets of Rage one, where instead of Mr. X sitting in his throne while you're beating the shit out of all his goons, it's they put Bernie there. Oh my god, it's so good. This is one of the prime examples why I do love the internet, Twitter to be specific, because it's great. It's great. Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna run this meme into the ground, just like all the others. But it's great. A great first viral meme of 2021, I'd say. But outside of that, you know, yeah, this was pretty much what's going on in the world since. So without further ado, let's stop the dilly dallying and get right into it. So today was at least from what Capcom hyped things up to be, was a big day, or was supposed to be a big day. Um, it wasn't necessarily that. It was more like. Okay, so just, that was just perfect relevancy. So yeah, so booty fart track was basically Resident Evil Showcase. I'll say partially. I'll say partially, and I'll get to that in a bit. But at least starting off the showcase, they basically, gave us what we wanted, and we got the Resident Evil Village trailer. Yeah, basically a brief trailer. Then we got like a overview of the gameplay with the producer of the game. That showed us some details in terms of the combat, specifically with the combat. It's pretty much close to Resident Evil 7 in a lot of ways, but it seems to be, at least what the producer emphasized on, more of a emphasis on defense, which was interesting, where you can actually, I'm pretty sure you technically could do it in Resident Evil 7, where you could basically block and brace now, but they seem to have expanded upon that, because I think at least the extent that you could block in Resident Evil 7 was just basically a block with your hands up, and then when you get hit, it just basically reduces the damage. But now it seems like potentially either you can maybe parry, kind of, possibly if the time is right, or I think regardless if you block, I'm guessing maybe depending on the enemy, they will. It seems like, I'm guessing probably just some enemies. I don't think all enemies will react the same way in that respect, but they will basically flinch back after they hit you and you're blocked. At least what they showcased in the showcase. But yeah, so there was that. That was the one big thing that pointed out. They gave you a look at some of the side characters or potential bosses in the game. They showed the one mysterious guy that at least a lot of people are speculating to be Luis Serra from Resident Evil 4. Apart, at least I was speculating today myself on Twitter, as well as the era that is reset. That potentially, just potentially, could be David King from Resident Evil Outbreak. I mean, when you look at the pictures, they do look pretty similar, especially when you consider, how a lot of the characters are getting a facelift to this current engine. So, who knows? Maybe it could, potential could be there, maybe. But yeah. So, and of course, we have to touch on it. It's been pretty much breaking the internet as well, on top of Bernie Sanders Bernie Sanders in his seat cold. Um, but we must talk about tall vampire lady, cause you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. Something about her, I can't even tell you, but it's just something about her that's just like I'm a little turned on right now, and I'm not sure why. So that's okay. It's okay to be turned on and not know why. Um, most of the time. let me let me rephrase that because that could be taken very wrongly. Um, yeah. So pretty much, she broke the internet. Everybody like is like, oh man, I love her so much. And some of these other publishers and new gaming news outlets, don't fake the funk. She cute. She cute. Okay, people saying that she's weird. People weirded out. If you weirded out by this lady, something may be wrong with you. All right, I said it. I said it. What of it? You gonna do something? I don't know why I'm so defensive about it. I guess maybe because there's feelings there. Feelings there that I'm not sure why they are, but they're there. Maybe men like to be tossed around sometimes. Maybe we like to be, you know, um towered over, I mean, easier access for the bags that are fun, you know what I mean? Maybe, I mean, maybe we want to be in that position sometimes. You don't know. I don't know. How she carries herself is really cute, attractive. You know what I mean? So take that for what you will. But yeah, I mean, she cute though. Okay, maybe she could use like some crushed white strips or something. But I mean, that's easy. Just give her some for her birthday. She'd be good. She'd be thankful. She might be offended. She might be offended and bite me, but then I might like it. I might get bitten and like it. So I don't know. She cute though, and I think a lot of the Resident Evil fans do also agree as well. You know, so I think that's all I'm gonna say in terms of that. Vampire lady, you can step on me all you want, and I will gladly accept. You can suck the life out of me, make me be one of your, you know, slaves that may do other stuff at your bidding. Um, but I mean, hey, if that's gotta be, then that's gotta be. I mean, I'm not gonna fight it. That's my destiny, my fate, even. Then who am I to deny that? So, um, but yeah, I forgot her name, Lady Demeter. Lady Demeter. I think she was revealed at during this the current trailer at this event. I think her name did come to pass. We got a little bit more of how she talks, which is also pretty hot. Pretty hot. All I gotta say is I was saying on Twitter. Chee chee. Can you run a train on a guy? Oh boy, I guess you can. All right. I don't know. Not sure about that. Um, can you run a Zamboni on me? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's enough of me. 14-year-old gushing over a video game character that you cannot really physically touch, but she is very attractive. All right. I'm sorry. I had to let that out. This is a gaming podcast. This is me letting it all out for y'all. Okay. And being candid about stuff like this. So, I mean, okay. Um, a lot of other people, feel the same way. So, who's wrong? Me or you? Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, it's good though. It's good though. It's good. I saw it was one tweet I retweeted. Basically, it showed pretty much a gay dude running away from a I guess run away from the camera with like some Freddie music or Jason. I think Jason music. Where he's like, "Oh, please don't catch me! No, please don't catch me!" On the beach, running away from like presumably the vampire lady. But I mean, if you hear this vampire lady, I know you probably done recording and doing all that stuff for Resident Evil Village, but I'm available. Maybe we could work something out, see some movies. Oh man, it's COVID. It's COVID. Maybe you might have that ability where you can't get infected. I don't know. I mean, we could work something out. Have a video date. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it in the universe though. Just just in case. So uh it's pretty funny though. I mean, especially because I think generally most people aren't necessarily attracted to tall women, and I think it probably goes the other way as well. Um, but I don't know. It's something about her, man. Okay, judge me. If she wasn't as tall, would she be as attractive? I'm not sure. I think maybe. I think maybe. I think I'd still be slightly turned on. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. All right. We got the hormones out. All right. Moving on. So back to the trailer. In terms of some of the details we got that we haven't had before. Um, what was it? Specifically, we did actually find out about the merchant. So it is. We do. There is confirmed to be a merchant. It's this penguin, like penguin from Batman looking type dude. He's like really rotund, fat, and he seems to have at least from the trailer they revealed details that the basically different he'll appear in different areas, and in the different areas he appears he'll like I don't know do perform certain actions, I guess him other actions of him being lazy, because it seems like he just doesn't get up. But it does seem to have it does take a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 4. There's a lot of weapon upgrading, weapons you can find. Um, so that's pretty cool. And then the attaché case from Resident Evil 4 is also coming back in this one, where there is that element of um, a meta game of fitting in all your items in your case. But I think they also talk about crafting in terms of like presumably herbs and weapon ammo and stuff like that. I would assume so. A lot of cool stuff there. I was liking. At least from a setting standpoint, for sure, I'm definitely sold. Of course, I mean, if I had the choice, I definitely would prefer a third person action game like Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake. Um, but I mean, who knows? This might change my outlook on Resident Evil. So we'll see. Um, Anything else that was really new? They just showed some of the enemies in terms of the combat. Like they showed it seems like they showed the tribe of the werewolves, where they had the head tribesman that has this huge ass hammer. But then, weirdly enough, they also had the one Louis Sarah guy that also had a hammer. So I don't know what this thing is with these people that have these you know affinities to hammers and whatnot. But maybe that's something we'll know. We'll find out later in the story. They also revealed the witches and of course the lady we talked about. So it seems to be it's presumed she's the head, and then there's like three other witches, and then they're doing some freaky stuff like shooting bees out your hand and cutting you and stuff. So hey, it's gonna get real hot. and get real hot and sweaty. Um, what else? Something that stood out amongst that. She was talking to somebody. I'm guessing it might have been that smaller witch, or maybe, possibly, maybe that smaller witch that you see in the at least the demo I played might grow to be actually that witch, or maybe she's actually the head. Who knows? But definitely interesting all around. Um, so it seems for sure it'll probably take place at least outside, and then probably go inside the castle, where I'm assuming the rest of the game will take place. Maybe there might be a third area, but all in all, I'm interested. I'm invested for sure. Um, what else? I'm trying to remember from the demo. Da, 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 da. Hot vampire lady. um. Oh yeah. In terms of other details, I know specifically for it was up in the air if the PS4, if the previous gen consoles would be supported. I think now we're at that point where PS4, Xbox One is now previous gen and no longer current gen. I think that's safe to establish. So PS, they did say that the game will come out at least on PS5 and PS4 and Xbox Series X. I'm not sure if it was a marketing thing because it seems like the streams for this event were specifically via Sony, through Sony, outside of the gaming outlet. So I'm not sure if it was just some marketing thing where they only had to say that, or I guess so, because they said specifically PS4, but they also said Xbox Series X. So, but Xbox One does have the backwards compatibility, um, or upgrading. So I guess you still would be stuck with the Xbox Series X version. You couldn't play the Xbox One version either way. So it's pretty implied that probably an Xbox One version will come at some point. But I kind of makes sense since that technically of the two would be the more difficult console since it's the lowest powered. Specifically the base Xbox One. Um, so that was at least good. At least based off that fact, I think it's probably a safe bet that this will also be in VR. I think they're probably just saving that nugget for a little bit later for some reason, or maybe um, we still don't know any details about PSVR 2, but that is for sure in the works, at least from what was said. So maybe that could be towards before May. Sony could drop a PSVR 2, and then this be of course like the marquee title for it to push the hardware, something like that. I could definitely see that happening. Either that or, which I'm still unclear about because I think it's currently for Resident Evil Village or for any PS PS VR game, it technically is running backwards compatibility via PS4, which would explain why Village is going to release day one with the PS5 version, maybe so you can play it in PSVR mode, which may be temporarily exclusive to PS4 until we get a PSVR 2. But the PSVR 2 could be dropped before this releases in May 7th, which is an awesome date, by the way. Pretty much a few weeks before my birthday. So it's a great present. It's a great present. I predicted February, but I'll take May any time of the day. Um, so yeah, but I think it's a given. I know it's been heavily rumored that this was definitely gonna be VR supported to some extent, but how that is yet to be known. But I feel very I feel it's very likely we'll definitely get a um, PSVR 2 with this being the marquee title for sure. If so, this would definitely sell me on getting a PSVR. I've been hesitant so far, but this would definitely make me jump in, dip my feet in, and I would assume it'd be backwards compatible, hopefully with previous titles. That would definitely solidify the deal. I would be a little on the fence if not, but yeah. So there was that, and I'm trying to think: is that all of Resident Evil 8 I can think of? Yeah, I think that pretty much covered everything. Yeah, release date May 7th, 2021, and of course they gave us that so juicy demo. Shadow dropped today. You could play it right now. My ass sure as hell went to download that so quick with the quickness. Swift, swift as a beaver on crack. I know there's some complications, of course, because everybody was searching it. I think it broke the search query online for it. So like basically, specifically, if you search for Resident Evil Village, it would break the page. But if you like search for anything else, it seemed to have been fine. So it was very interesting and weird tidbit, but hey, the game is good. Also heard in Japan that this is actually gonna release on a Saturday, which is pretty much the first time a Resident Evil game has released at that on that day, which I believe is generally reserved for like super huge big games. So that's a very interesting tidbit in terms of like I guess the notoriety that is Resident Evil now. But I mean, Resident Evil sold insanely well, so I mean, I understand it. So, um, yeah, and keeping with that, um, there also may be a next gen patch for Resident Evil 7. Totally makes sense since I know online on the PS5 store you can get a bundle with the Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. So that'd be interesting. Um, 'Cause, yeah, I might actually, because I was debating like replaying Resident Evil 7 again, see if maybe my outlook changed on it since I played it in 2017. But if it's improved, that definitely would sweeten the deal for me for sure. And then also that could also further solidify PSVR 2 uh, feasibility of it coming out as well, where this would also be another title that would be playable in the new PSVR, which would make sense also why it would get an update. So could be that they could also just release it, and then probably whenever PSVR 2 is coming or ready, then they could say that Resident Evil 8 is getting a patch for it after. So I guess technically it could go both ways for the most part. Seemed like it could be patched in at least. So, well, good stuff. Good stuff. So now let's move on to the very horrible, shall we? I mean, I don't want to, but I have to. That's that is so fucking fitting, man. Um, Yeah, so pretty much after that, they announced, to celebrate 25 years of the history of Resident Evil do uh, Resident Evil. Don't know why I said that. Celebrate the 25 years of Resident Evil. You guys think we should do a collection of the original Resident Evil games, right? The original Resident Evil trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. For Nintendo Switch, PS4, or PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X. Huh? Is that what you guys want? Okay. So we're gonna give you Resident Evil Verse, RE Verse, which is a P2P P2P game where you fight fan favorite characters across iconic maps, and it's free with Resident Evil Village purchase. Huh? That's what you want, right? That's what you want. That's what you want, right? You want that, don't you? That's what you want, right? You want that, don't you? It's good. It's good. All your characters that you want, just fighting each other and not Outbreak at all. One of the best multiplayer games of all time. That's what you want, right? You want that, don't you? Huh? So, yeah. So Resident Evil Reverse. That name just is like, I'm just annoyed by that name in of itself. Ugh. I'm just so tired, man. I'm just so tired of this, man. I really am. So they didn't really get the hint with Resident Evil Resistance, which I guess it's up for debate. You could say it's PVE slash P, but for me, to me, it's mainly PvP. It feels like, since the player generally dictates the spawning of characters and placement, it feels more so PvP, in my opinion. And personally, I just, after playing it for a little bit, just wasn't a fan of it. To be honest, just wasn't good. Maybe someday I'll give it another chance, just out of frustration that Capcom isn't giving us what we want, which is Resident Evil Outbreak, one of the best multiplayer Resident Evil games. That is literally Resident Evil, but in the context of a traditional Resident Evil game, but with the context of multiplayer, where you have scenarios where we're basically generally a half hour, not too much of a commitment. And then, if you got to do something, you can leave. But all these scenarios, which are technically non linear, so you can pretty much play any one, and there's technically canon in terms of the order, but not really, if that makes sense. So you have that very deep co-op mechanics where certain characters benefit other characters. Certain characters in specific scenarios have an advantage in a scenario to progress it further. Like David, for example, in the underbelly scenario, he can like put tape on a pipe to basically expedite a step you have to do in the scenario. Basically, just saves a lot of time. So cool stuff like that. Um, cool, interesting nuances, the characters, combos, and ah, words cannot explain how much I love that game. Cannot explain how much I love that game. So then, with that in mind, we get Ariverse, which is like this cell shaded, probably the worst, poorest form of cell shaded graphics I've ever seen. Um, and then it's like Leon and Claire are shooting each other, and then freaking Leon turns into a damn fucking. Didn't he fucking turn into Tyrant? And fucking Claire turns into Nemesis. It's just disappointing, man. I I cannot say this enough. Resident Evil and PvP does not mix. It is like, when you mix in ingredients in Resident Evil to make what the Plant 42 virus in there. I could have swore I seen it. It was like Resident Evil PvP. Don't mix these, but now we got a mixture, which is RE verse. I mean, you got Joe Baker. You can play as him. It just feels like this is going to be yet another Resident Evil PvP game that nobody asked for. Nobody. I think you could ask majority Resident Evil fans, would you want a PvP Resident Evil game? No. No, I wouldn't. I could see co-op, I can understand. But PvP, it's not it, Chief. She's done, Jim. She's done, Jim. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Stop it. Just stop it. What's the It's relevant. It's relevant. I got to. I wish I'd have these on hand, but I don't, because they just come to my head. I just don't, So basically,
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
okay. So, the legend, Michael Jordan said it himself. Stop it. Get some help. By get some help, just remake or port Resident Evil Outbreak. Is it? What is so hard about that? It just seems like it's just so easy. You just simply port Resident Evil Outbreak to current consoles. Does not seem like a big ask. And on top of that, you would get more fans that will buy the game than this piece of shit. So what are you doing? What are you doing, Capcom? I'm just saying. I'll never get it. I mean, I signed up for the demo though, but I mean, that trailer did not impress me at all. It's just, why are you doing this? Stop it, please, Capcom. Give us what we want. Give us what we want. I want Resident Evil Outbreak, and I want it now. Man, it's like frustratingly annoying. Just by how much they're neglecting how much people want to play the game, want that game. Also, to touch on, I feel like I probably have touched on it before, but like Resident Evil Outbreak, I think one of the problems with the game was, the biggest one I personally felt was that it was definitely a game that came way ahead of its time. Came out in like 2003. That was like just when broadband was starting to catch on in homes. So like it's very rare that everybody had broadband internet, let alone dial up, which you couldn't use for this game, and a lot of like the Xbox Live and stuff. So I think ultimately that is what was the biggest detriment to that game's continued success. I'd say if, let's say, Resident Evil Outbreak came out in like, 2008, I think it would have done way better than it did now. I think maybe 2012, actually. 2012, because I think the servers were still up until 2007, and then they were shut down. So, yeah, I think overall, it's just disappointing, frustrating, and annoying. Just how much this series gets neglected. You know what I mean? Um, that's why you always see me streaming it because it is a great game, and also to um, realize how great that game is. You know, just disappointed, man. Really was. Just why, why? And then even on top of that, like totally outbreak aside, why would you celebrate a 25th anniversary with a PvP game that will like be irrelevant after like 2 3 months when you could have easily just released a Resident Evil collection that would have had, which was a rumor. You know, people were speculating on Resetter as well that you get Resident Evil 1 director's cut, why not, in there, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and then hell, just put the outbreaks in there as well. That would have been excellent, excellent collection. It would commemorate the history of where Resident Evil started, which was the original Resident Evil and the original trilogy, which I'd say is pretty much iconic in terms of solidifying the fandom that was Resident Evil in a lot of ways. Of course, now it's way different, but still, I mean, the legacy of what and how Resident Evil came to be what it is today, I feel owes it to the original Resident Evils, and that would have made the most sense to do that. But of course, yeah, Capcom is just being Capcom in the most annoying ways, at least specifically Resident Evil. So there was that, which, yeah, still annoys me to the core right now. Um, Freaking PvP game. Another PvP game that from previous game that have failed. Umbrella Corps, horrible. People, I ain't gonna lie, I bought it just out of curiosity, but I never even played it online. And you got RE Resistance, which is like, personally, I did not like it. I wasn't a fan. Again, I'll probably maybe come back. I don't know, but it's tiring, man. How many times do we have to say bring back RE Outbreak? I mean, thankfully, at least I can satiate some of that desire with playing online with like emulators and stuff. But still, I mean, you have to find a group of people to play. A lot of people are playing in cliques, but like if it was on a wider platform, more people would be playing, and it will make it easier to get into games and play other scenarios, play more what you want. But no, Capcom's like no. So, it hurts. It hurts a lot. That's the biggest thing. It's just the fact that it's a multiplayer thing they announced, and it's like horrible, and it's not even like I can even give them a little leeway. It feels like maybe co-op, but PvP for Resident Evil, ugh, it just has not worked. Why would they keep trying to reinvent a wheel that isn't working in the first place? Really, really hurts. Sorry, I had to rant about that because it's just frustrating at this point. How much of the community itself has supported Outbreak more than Capcom themselves. Oh yeah, they'll acknowledge Outbreak, but that's it. Just acknowledge it. Give Alyssa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak a little cameo in RE7, and that's it. It hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts. Outside of that, they also gave us a brief trailer of Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, I believe, which is basically another CG straight to DVD movie, which I'm definitely interested in. I at least speculated that we might get a preview of a Resident Evil reboot, the Resident Evil reboot movie that we know is in the works, and we've seen some tidbits of in terms of the filming process. I think they actually finished filming. Could be wrong in that, but yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely down to watch that. The previous CG movies were pretty good. I mean, some were like good in a bad way, but still entertaining. And CG just is more, I guess feasible than like real time. And don't even get me started on what is her name? I feel like I blocked her name out just because of how horrible she's ruined our franchises. Mila Jovovich, right? I think specifically her and Paul W.S. Anderson just ruining everything. Either way, I digress. But yeah, overall, man, overall. Resident Evil 8 specifically was really good though. Definitely showed promising showing. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, don't, and that's the big thing. Don't like beef this up to be like a very fun showcase, and then I don't know, man. I feel like community managers or something need to gauge the game more. Just gauge what fans want, I guess. I feel like, I think it's pretty apparent they're just going with what they can make as cheap as possible while returning a huge investment. That's the only thing I could think of at this point, because it's like I think it's pretty evident that they don't listen to the fans. So, it's disappointing. I mean, they partially did with Resident Evil, trying to bring it back to its horror roots, but make it first person. So it's like it's some slight compromises. Resident Evil 3, we got a remake, but it wasn't the best remake of a Resident Evil 3. It was pretty poor in the remake aspect. As a game on its own is good. And Resident Evil 2 remake was pretty damn good. Of course, there was some nitpicks there, but even that, like, they could have did a Resident Evil 2 and 3 director's cut. Actually add Clock Tower to Resident Evil 3, that portion, which is probably one of the bigger ones. The Dead Factory, but instead we got the Nest. I guess I can kind of bend with that one, but probably the most iconic, the Clock Tower, just totally scrapping that. Raccoon City Zoo, probably add a little bit of the RE Outbreak lore in there, kind of tying in with the Wild Things scenario from Outbreak. Ugh. Capcom really set themselves up for this, to be honest, because I mean, they probably should have downplayed some of the stuff that people were speculating, but Resident Evil 8 was good, but just I think you always remember how it ended, and of course, I guess the negative more than the bad, but that was atrocious, man. It's like that literally soured my taste on RE8 to a slight extent as well. I even looked at the trailer of RE-verse to see like, maybe maybe it's just the rendering of the video. Maybe it's just some glitch or something. and looked at it again. I literally couldn't help but like cringe at it because it's like, no, this is so bad. Don't. But yet again, Capcom has disappointed me with Resident Evil specifically. Um, Capcom, why? Capcom, no. Capcom, no. Don't do this. We'll see. We'll see if I get to the in that beta. I was excited to see because I was like, what could it be? Could it be Outbreak? No, it's a fucking PvP game yet again. I was excited, but now I'm like, yeah, if I'm not getting that beta, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over that at all. So, it hurts, man. As a pretty big Resident Evil fan, it hurts. I'll say that 100%. Especially how they set us up. Let's say if that was just Resident Evil Village specifically, and they were done, totally fine with that. But how they hyped it up to be like, oh yeah, we got a new game announcement to celebrate the 25th anniversary. So of course your mind gets running. 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of Resident Evil. It's got to be something special to commemorate that. Not at all. Not at all. Nope. No. So, okay. I think I've got it out of my system. I'm sorry. Just frustrating. Just frustrating. That showing was, man. Frustrating. I saw somebody on Resetter made a comment. They made a thread for Reverse. All 6 players of Umbrella Corps are ecstatic. That is super accurate. Because like I know there's some discourse about I mean, more power to you if you're looking forward to a PvP Resident Evil game, but people were saying like people still buy and play them or whatever, and then somebody showed like the Steam charts for the playtime and stats for Umbrella Corps. It was like 4 people playing. Literally 4 people playing currently. And that's probably even due to like the spike or interest because of a new multiplayer announcement. So, Capcom. Why? Why are you doing this? Why must you disappoint us so much? It hurts. It hurts a lot. I'll get through somehow. I'll live to see another day somehow. I don't know if I can move on I don't know if I can move on like this. um yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I've got out my system. I've said what I had to say. We'll see. Moving on. In better news, anything better than that, really. Um, Scott Pilgrim, it did go on sale for on limited run games. So, for those that don't know, previously, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World released digitally exclusively on the 360 and PS3 when it came out, like I think 2010ish. But got delisted maybe a few years after due to I think a licensing agreement between Brian Lee O'Malley, who I think is the creator of the Scott Pilgrim IP, and Ubisoft, who's the company that published the game at least. So pretty much if you didn't buy Scott Pilgrim before it got delisted, then you were SOL, basically, no means to get it. So now that we finally have Scott Pilgrim out, I've yet to actually play it, but I beat it and played it, so I definitely plan to play it again for sure. Um, Released the game digitally, but they also, and thankfully they did. I know a lot of us were instantly speculating after they announced it. I think last month was like, hey, when we getting that collector's edition? When we getting that physical edition? And sure enough, limited run games saved the day, and they announced that they're selling a limit physical copies of the game. I think for a pretty decent window, 6 week long pre-order period. So pretty much during that window, if you don't pre-order a physical copy of the game, that's it. Good luck buying it on eBay for like 3 times the price, basically. Um, but for people that really love the game and want to still access it, if God forbid, like any of the e-shops go down or something like that, um, you know, that's your chance. So you know damn well I hopped on that with the quickness. But apparently a lot of other people did as well, because in less than 3 hours it sold 25,000 copies of Scott Pilgrim on the Switch. So hey, if you listen to the fans, give them what they want, you might get what you want in return. Well, it's crazy how that works, but it's pretty good to hear in terms of I think they've always got axed for Scott Pilgrim on as a limited run, or as just a game in general. So pretty good to hear though now. So the world is like becoming a better place now. We got we don't have Trump as a president, and now Scott Pilgrim is coming on modern platforms and in physical form. What more could you ask for? What else? Rumor mill time. That one series, Battlefield 6 specifically, apparently will be soft rebooted and heavily inspired by Battlefield 3. So, also on top of that, there will be a old gen version. Old gen version exists, I guess maybe after 4 or something like that, but it will also be made by a different studio or a different team at DICE, who's generally made the Battlefield games also. So apparently 128 players, Battle Royale, which at least specifically the huge number always generally was a staple, I feel, with Battlefield. Battle Royale, which I think did come to Battlefield 5, which I never played. Didn't. I'm a fan of the modern and futuristic games, not so much the like World War II and older time period games. Just I don't know, just the time period and I guess what's the word I'm looking for? The weapons don't really feel that good. I feel they just don't interest me, that time period specifically. But who knows? Maybe it might stand a chance against Call of Duty. I mean, to be honest, in some respects, Call of Duty did Battlefield better than Battlefield with its one mode, at least currently in Modern Warfare, called Ground War. So I don't know, man. But I mean, full disclosure, I've never been a hardcore or pretty big Battlefield fan in general. So I don't know. Just the game never appealed to me. I feel like it's too big of scale where it doesn't feel as concise and accountable, if that makes sense. Where it's like in Call of Duty, I just like the more arcadey feel of the game compared to Battlefield, which is generally more realistic based. I think that's safe to say. Of course, there's some particular liberties they aren't as realistic, of course, but the vibe I always get from Battlefield is it's more realistic compared to um, Call of Duty, personally. But cool news either way. If it does look good, and it is set in semi-current gen, or modern times. So yeah, PS4, Xbox One. So it'll be on cross. It'll be a cross-gen title supposedly. I mean, it makes sense. I'm trying to think when the last Battlefield did come out. I think it was like 2018, 2019 or something like that. So makes sense. And in what the hell, man, news, um, Terminator. You welcome. Of course, you know what game Terminator and Sarah Connor would be good in? Okay, Gears of War was all right. It was okay. But no, that's not enough. Fortnite. Ah, man, it's like at this point, it's like who isn't in Fortnite at this point? Because I feel like it's hard to keep track now. So many damn characters in this game. Kratos, Halo, Master Chief, freaking Batman. Well, yeah, but like a lot of DC characters, freaking all of Marvel and the freaking all of Disney. Well, I guess because they own it, but whatever. It's too much. I guess it's funny. A part of me is kind of frustrated because it's like I find it's very cool, but if this was a game I wanted to play, so I think partially that's why I'm frustrated. Like if this was in like Call of Duty or something, like yes, all right, I'd be way more excited. But it's just like knowing that this is, it's like you outside of a club and like all these famous people are going in and you're just left out there just trying to wait for a spot to get in, even if you might get in, if you even get lucky enough to. That's what I feel like. It's annoying because like I tried to like the game, but I just cannot get behind the building mechanics. Specifically, that's the biggest turn off for me. Where you have to freaking zip your mouse like 560 degrees to build this acute angle to climb up these steps to then drop down and do a falling 360 no scope without seeing the enemy. That's the big one. You can't be a Fortnite player if you can't do a 360 no scope off an acute stair, 15 feet to be exact, while doing a spinning blind 360 no scope. It's the only way. You can't even consider yourself a player if you can't do that. So, totally not serious, by the way. Moving on. It's been a minute, but I was like, you know what? Let me start bringing these MPDs back. Personally, I love them. Always fascinating. I mean, outside of reviews, but also to see the, I guess, more realistic slash I guess really just more realistic side of things where, of course, if a game, compared to a game reviewing well or bad, seeing how it sells as well is always fascinating to see, a lot of horrible games do end up selling well and vice versa for the most part. A couple exceptions, of course, but at least in this case, we'll take a look at all platforms. I think this also includes digital, the top 20 games, physical and full game digital, from eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox. Number one, Call of of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I can see it. Number two. Cyberpunk 2077. I see there's an asterisk there. This one, no sales. Digital sales are not included. So I could see it. It's Cyberpunk. All that hype. Not sure if they took into account all the refunds and stuff, but hey, it still got the spot. Number 3, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 4, Spider-Man Miles Morales. 5, Madden NFL 21. 6, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 8, NBA 2K21. Like not a lot of these aren't surprising. 9, Immortals Phoenix Rising. That's actually pretty surprising. Specifically as a new IP from Ubisoft. That's pretty surprising actually. Number 9, the top 10. That's crazy. 10, Super Mario 3D All Stars. 11, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's pretty decent. I think probably the Sephiroth DLC probably had to be the reason for that. So I've seen a lot of people that actually straight up bought the game that weren't even interested in the game. Now that Sephiroth is in it, so I could totally believe that. Just Dance 2021. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity 13. FIFA 21 14. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe 15. 16, Super Mario Odyssey. 17, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. 18, Super Mario Party. 19, Ring Fit Adventure. 20, Mortal Kombat 11. Also, for the most part, that's been pretty believable, with the exception of Mortals Phoenix Rising. Just I always assume just the new IP always has trouble sales wise, but that wasn't the case. I feel like Nintendo is pretty predictable, so I'll actually skip that. I'll actually do top 5. Number 1, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I feel like that's been here for like forever. Like GTA 6 level or GTA 5 levels of just staying power. Number 3, Super Mario 3D All Stars. 4, Super Smash Bros. The Ultimate. Number 5, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. December 2020 for PlayStation top 10. Black Ops Cold War. Miles Morales. Cyberpunk. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Madden NFL 21. NBA 2K21. 7, Ghost of Tsushima. 8, FIFA 21. 9, Immortals Phoenix Rising. 10, Demon Souls. Xbox top 10. 1, Black Ops Cold War. Cyberpunk. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Madden NFL. NBA 2K. Mortals. FIFA 21. Watch Dogs Legion, which is interesting. That's actually kind of somewhat surprising a little bit. Not really, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare number 9. That's actually pretty interesting. Based on the fact that Warzone is free with Black Ops. So you would have to, if you just want to play the multiplayer, you would have to buy Modern Warfare. So maybe like people just liked, maybe possibly were disappointed by Cold War, or maybe both. They might have bought both Cold War and Modern Warfare and maybe heard how good it was, maybe decided to jump in too. I could see that. And Forza Horizon 4 at number 10. Yearly charts. So even I think Black Ops is number 1 yearly. That seems weird because it just came out in November, but I guess I could see it. A lot of people transitioned from that. And then Modern Warfare actually is number 2 which is crazy. Just shows you how crazy Activision is with Call of Duty. I think they're like making buku bucks, like billions. Got to put the two pinkies for that. So it's crazy, but I could believe it because it's always been like that. Animal Crossing, Madden NFL, Assassin's Creed, Last of Us Part 2, number 6, Ghost of Tsushima, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario 3D All Stars, Final Fantasy 7 Remake at 10, Marvel's Avengers, Spider-Man Miles Morales, NBA 2K21, Smash Ultimate 14, FIFA 21, MK11, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, MLB The Show 2018, Cyberpunk at 19, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 at 20. It's crazy. And for the year, top 20 games. Wow. And definitely got to do the year. I think that's also why I decided to do this, just for the year, like how everything did through the course of the whole year. So, top 10 for Nintendo for 2020, the whole year. Total. Number 1, Animal Crossing. That's not surprising at all. Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D All Stars, Smash Ultimate 4, Ring Fit Adventure 5, Legend of Zelda 6, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe 7, 8, Luigi's Mansion 3, 9, Super Mario Party, 10, Super Mario Odyssey. Pretty believable. Top 10 for PlayStation: Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, Last of Us Part 2 at 3, Ghost of Tsushima at 4, Madden NFL 21, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed, MLB The Show 20, Marvel's Avengers. Yeah, that's pretty believable. Nothing that really stands out as like crazy. Top 10 for Xbox: Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare. Is it like almost somewhat? At Madden, NFL 21, Assassin's Creed for 4, Avengers 5, NBA 2K 21 for 6, FIFA 21 7, Cyberpunk at 8, 9, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, 10, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. All in all, pretty interesting. Nothing too outlandish or crazy. Uh, one thing I did notice, actually, referencing back previous MPDs, is that Grand Theft Auto is nowhere to be seen, which generally that's always been the like least see it always at the top 20. Maybe it might be in the 25. I'm guessing. If I would guess, it's probably like in the 25, in that range. I can see it, but Grand Theft Auto 5 dethroned. You hate to see it. Rockstar is gonna cry in all their dollar bills. Wipe the tears away. DualSense wireless controller was the best-selling gamepad for both December and 2020. Yeah, I think that's all the relevant stuff we'll talk about in that respect. Shouts out to Matt Piscatella, the god of behind these stats. Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll conclude all the news for this week. Let's get into what I've been gaming recently. Modern Warfare, man, / Black Ops. So my outlook on Black Ops has changed since. I know, I think last time I played I was pretty negative on it, but I have since then guessing after some of the patches came out, I'm definitely enjoying it more now. Or maybe I'm just playing with weapons that are more feasible and are like I'm playing that are the meta. So that could probably be changing my insight as well. But I am enjoying it more now. Doing some challenges to keep me busy. I feel like that always keeps me engaged for some reason, doing challenges and unlocking them and fulfilling them and stuff like that. So I am enjoying that. Getting all my weapons ranked up. I was trying to rank up the DMR to kind of exploit the meta where the DMR was super OP, but I feel like they said they nerfed it a bit. I haven't really messed with it too much after patch, I don't think, in Warzone specifically. But yeah. Outside of that, no, I mean, yeah, it's good. It's good, but I have to say, Modern Warfare started pulling me back in. Where basically there was a cool little, I guess, a pro tip if maybe you don't know, but I guess this is intentional either way. But one thing I did not know when playing Modern Warfare is basically it's a pro tip though. It's a pro tip. Apparently, you can activate a double XP or double weapon XP token if you have any extra in Black Ops, no, in Modern Warfare, and you can basically activate it and then switch to Black Ops and basically reap the benefits of double XP there. Since at least for most people who are playing now have maxed out all their weapons and unlocked all the weapons and stuff, so you can then basically use those tokens for a game that you need them for, which I thought was pretty cool. I totally just something I totally wasn't even paying attention to, but then totally just realized that is what was happening. Because I think I just did it without caring. I was like, okay, let me just jump into the Black Ops after playing Modern Warfare and see what's up. And I was like, oh, that's weird. The timer is just basically the same. I was like, and put two and two together. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. All right, I see it now. So, yeah, pretty cool though. At least Modern Warfare wise, I've been having this weird attachment to unlocking gold and platinum for the rifles, which I did do this week. Trying now, I'm working on SMGs to try and unlock those, since those are way easier than the assault rifles, because the biggest pain in the ass is these stupid ass long shots. You have to get 100 damn long shots to 100 long shots, which is generally the last thing I have had to unlock for most of the weapons, especially the post DLC weapons that came out, and unlock those. And now doing it with SMGs, which is way easier because the range is not as demanding as the rifles, which generally have a pretty good range to begin with. So I've been seeing myself getting them much easier now with that, having to what's the word, mitigate for the distance. So I would just be camping in one spot, trying to camp long shots, and it's just a pain to do and not really that fun. So pretty much my go-to mode for that is ground war, which otherwise I would just be playing in traditional multiplayer modes. But because of these damn long shot medals challenges that I gotta do, that's what I've been doing. So but that's been cool, and I really do love and appreciate the fact that with Black Ops they didn't just throw Modern Warfare to the wayside now. So I can literally, if I just feel like I really like Modern Warfare still a lot, I could just be playing that and unlock all and get kind of like the slight fulfillment of unlocking and progressing the battle pass that I've been getting in the previous seasons now. And then that's another thing too that is still kind of up in the air if there's still going to be some DLC for Modern Warfare in terms of like um, Soap. I guess that was the rumors that Soap might be a DLC character and a couple weapons for Modern Warfare that we still don't have yet, but that have been blatantly like leaked and seen. So yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing what likely might happen is that there might be maybe a season down the road, or maybe a couple seasons, or maybe that might be the thing where they'll actually they'll actually like combine both games in terms of um battle pass rewards. So like, at battle pass 20 you get Soap, and then battle pass 40 you get like a Black Ops character, and like something like that. I think that would be pretty cool and kind of unify both games, and technically, weirdly enough, maybe get sales more, so where like people will maybe buy both games to like, out of curiosity or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, I think they really do have a really great system going on now, by unifying the two games, as well as getting rewarded for playing over your prestige limit technically. Cause my biggest, like, I guess, workflow or like grind is like playing on mainly primarily to get all the battle pass content, and then after getting all the battle pass content, trying to do the challenges. At least with Modern Warfare, they're very like strict and demanding, but Black Ops, they don't seem to be as much, and it doesn't seem like you'll miss out like Modern Warfare, which I do appreciate, where it's like not as much pressure to get them within the season. I don't think. We'll see, I guess, after the season ends, but overall, man, I'm still loving it. The modern warfare, Cold War, Warzone bug has bitten me again. It's been like a nice break to after being in like single player mode, which I think I've talked about before. Where I kind of generally my mo, if you will, tends to be like I play a fair amount of single player games. Then I get into a point where I feel like having a break, and I play a lot of multiplayer games. Kind of generally have that cycle going on. But so that's what the mode I'm in right now. Single player, I mean multiplayer. Call of Duty specifically. Maybe some other games. Um. Also, I did mess around, get me a monitor, or a new monitor now, because the previous one I had didn't have G-Sync, which is a pain in the ass, pushing these frame rates and getting that screen tearing. So it's like, I think it's about time to get a new monitor specifically. Got me I feel like it's a step back in some cases to step forward. So basically, it's a 1080p, 280 hertz Asus monitor that what is it? Is G-Sync compatible, of course. But I'm having this dilemma where I feel like I might have compromised too much on resolution for frame rate, and I'm kind of debating on actually going to 1440p, which I feel like I know generally a lot of people have been going towards now, where you kind of get that sweet spot between 1080p and 4K, but also benefit from the greater frame rate, generally 144 hertz too. So I'm probably more than likely at some point gonna probably switch to 1440p. Cause I don't know. I feel like the compromise of resolution, especially for multitasking outside of gaming too, might be too much. I think probably test it out a little bit more, see how I feel about it, get some more insight research. But all in all, with that being said, I was testing out some games as well, like Counter Strike, seeing what it's like, and then like, oh man, I gotta sip, I gotta sip before. Specifically, because I've been playing on 60, 60 FPS hertz for so long, I thought like, man, maybe because of the huge jump in frame rate, hertz, response time, whatever. I think I might actually be much better at Counter Strike slash Overwatch and whatever. And I got my ass beat for the most part. But I mean, in a lot of cases, I held my own. So it's like I could definitely see and recognize the improvement, specifically in reaction time, where like I can actually react more promptly than 60 hertz, which is definitely a huge benefit, especially for shooters, fast paced shooters like Modern Warfare and stuff, which that was probably the most I've actually benefited from. Like, I played like a couple games last night and I was like, I had some high ass numbers, which I think I can only really attribute to the increased frame rate. Um, where otherwise I think would have been more of a struggle, or in terms of a firefight, I would have lost more. I had like got 6 kills before I got killed by somebody, and I was out of money. At least the specific temporary mode was buyback solos, where you can basically, if you have $4,500 in your pocket and you get killed, you'll automatically respawn back if that's the case. So, messed with Overwatch a bit. Was feeling really good. Otherwise, because I mean, that was always a big reason that was detracting me from playing a lot on PC as well, where I had the monitor that wasn't G-Sync capable, and then I had to turn on V-Sync, which added a little bit more lag, and I feel like I just couldn't necessarily function that well like I wanted to. If that makes sense. So, interesting little random tidbit. Just want to throw in there. Of course, y'all saw it. Your boy came out of retirement. I keep saying that. It's just I stream when I want to. I'm not gonna be at liberty in terms of streaming, like, on a schedule. I'm not that serious about it, but just for fun, I was like, oh, let me stream some more of that Outbreak, especially at least before the fact. Was getting real excited about the potential of Outbreak being re-released, ported, whatever. That obviously didn't happen after what we heard today, saw today. So, but man, it just made me realize how much I love that damn game. Playing, at least now, playing on the current emulators and setup, it's way easier now. I've yet to receive a crash. That was like the biggest annoying thing playing on emulators back in the day, back in 2014 when I like started streaming Outbreak. But now it is like pristine, man. Network connectivity is great. Not getting any disconnects and stuff like that. It's good, man. So at least I have that, knowing now that if at worst I can still play Outbreak, online, in my own way, in some even cooler ways than the original game and stuff. Like, I know you see on the if you watch a previous stream, you'll see like the Outbreak tracker, which is cool. I think is very insightful for people viewing when I'm playing, in terms of seeing all the stats of room a person currently is, items they have, and if they're dead or not. That's a huge one, because you'll be going through a whole scenario thinking like, in it to win it, but then, all three of your teammates are dead. Like, it's really generally no use to keep playing, depending on where you're at in the scenario. So, all in all, Outbreak is good, man. Outbreak is life, Outbreak is life. If you're not outbreaking, then if you're not outbreaking, then what are you doing? I don't. Probably doing something better with doing something better with your life. Yeah. So outside of that, at least gaming wise, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Media wise, you already know. Attack on Titan, man. Freaking Aaron Yeager. Fuck them up. Aaron Yeager. Give a damn. Fuck all them. They's a bunch of They can all eat all kinds of Sorry. But what they did to his mom, they had to pay. I don't feel any remorse. Okay, they gonna show some of the kids being okay. Spoilers for Attack on Titan, kind of. I'm gonna try to dance around it, but still, I'm just spoiled just to be safe. Some of the kids, got killed with stones and shit, like because of Aaron. But it's like, well, they could have stepped away from the stones. They could have stayed home, but no, they wanted to see this announcement of this one dude. I think I'm intentionally be vague, but fuck them. All right, I'm not gonna bleep that. Fuck them. I said what I said. Give a damn. You gonna mess with Aaron and his mom. That's what you gonna get. You're gonna get that wrath. That's what they got. But outside of that, it did get real good though. You got this new Titan that came, and then they fighting, and then you get all the characters coming back. You got fucking Levi coming at the end. I'm like, oh shit about to go off. Everybody shit about to pop. Oh my god. And then to be continued. Like, why? Don't do this. Don't do this. You just like, don't, please. To be continued. Wait your ass. Keep waiting, bitch. Wait another week. You see what happened. So, man. So good. So good. Can't wait for next episode. I understand why people wait and, wait till all the episodes come out and then binge it, but I'm not dying inside, but I will tell you I can't wait until the next episode though. I will say that. So yeah. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I would have been doing. Outside, like I said, outside. Like actually, technically, I do go outside to work out and stuff. So don't get it twisted. But in terms of generally outside, like feeling like going outside today or something, ain't no outside be climate we're in right now. I'm just ranting at this point. Yeah. Outside of that, I think that'll conclude this episode of Switch Your Sights, episode 88. If you did like or enjoy the show, feel free to like, rate, or subscribe on your favorite podcasting platforms. iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I feel like there's some other ones, but I forgot. There's so many. Pretty much, if it's a popular podcasting platform, you should be good. YouTube, technically Twitch, on Twitch TV/aswitch, where I do record each episode live, ideally from 4 to 6-ish. Ran a little late this week because, I don't know, partially I think I was just reeling over the what happened at the Resident Evil event. But I digress. You can also catch these episodes archived on my YouTube channel at aswitch, youtube.com/aswitch. You can also follow me on Twitch every time. You can also follow me on Twitter at aswitch, where lately you're gonna see a lot of Bernie memes because they fucking funny. Okay, I don't care what anybody say. Them damn memes are hilarious. All right, I can't get enough. Keep them coming. I want them. Keep them coming. Outside of that, nothing else really. So until next time, y'all. Don't cough. Don't touch people that don't want to be touched. Get your game on. Oh yeah.
Nobody's safe.